Welcome to VoiceCon Amsterdam. We're here at the Psytechnics stand with Psytechnics CEO Anthony Finbow. Anthony, welcome to VoiceCon Amsterdam, and thanks very much for being here.
Thanks very much, Eric.
Psytechnics is one of our diamond sponsors and is one of the leading vendors in the field of performance and network management and monitoring. And maybe to elaborate on that a little bit for folks who may not be familiar, what kind of products does Psytechnics make, and what are you showing here at the VoiceCon?
Thanks, Eric. Sure. Well, we focus on what we call voice performance management primarily, and that is management of IP telephony deployments, managing quality from the perspective of the user. So our proposition, our value add, our payback, our business model is identifying problems and resolving quickly quality problems that are otherwise invisible to the range of network performance management tools that are currently being used to attempt to manage quality. So really we're focused on application performance management rather than network performance management. And we've signed a range of exciting deals in recent weeks and months with a range of big managed service providers who are recognizing fundamentally this difference in approach as being a differentiator. Very excited about that.
What are some of the, I see an application behind you with some of the typical red, yellow, and green dials. You can kind of, from this kind of a console, give a network manager an idea of what level of performance if they're having certain jitter or delay problems.
Well, fundamentally we focus on the operations manager rather than network manager. So we're more of a customer-facing application than a network-facing application. So we are, yes, certainly looking at network performance statistics, but also, as I mentioned, the application performance statistics. So looking at some of the dials, we've got speech IP mean appeal score. That is a network-specific focus. That's whether the IP network is affecting voice performance. But then also we're looking at, in fact, video, whether the IP network is impacting video quality. But then a range of voice-specific application performance things, which, as I mentioned, are not available through any other source. So echo and voice quality, listening quality, so individual streams, the application performance back and forth, whether that is meeting the requisite thresholds, but also conversational quality as well. These are, if you like, these are really bridging a gap between the network performance and the user's perception of whether the voice quality is acceptable.
Why is that gap something that needs to be bridged? Are we starting to see that in deployments there are problems that...
Indeed. I mean, the vast majority of our early customers were customers that were rolling out large-scale IP telephony, had started the rollout process with a range of IP network performance tools in place. They'd encountered insurmountable voice quality issues, had recourse to the IP performance tools, all of which were suggesting the network was performing and you should therefore have no voice quality issues. The customers were complaining, suggesting there were major issues, and so all of a sudden the managed service providers, for instance, or the enterprises deploying IP telephony were at a loss as to how to resolve or identify the root cause of the problems. So introducing Psytechnics to provide not only that network view but this application view has, in a number of instances, resolved the issues there and enabled stalled deployments to be reinitiated and completed.
Now, if the problems you're finding are in the application, is that things like echo?
Exactly. Echo, voice distortion, noise levels, low voice levels, high noise levels, that sort of thing. And what we found is, in fact, 80 to 90% of the problems that customers are complaining about have been application-specific rather than network-related performance issues. So it's a major gap that we're addressing.
Does that stem from the way the systems are built, the way the IP-PBX vendors, they're not sort of transferring analog principles to IP accurately enough yet?
I don't know that it's necessarily that. There are a whole range of things that can impact voice quality across the entire communications delivery infrastructure. The network is just one of those. The end device, the delivery devices, the performance of the microphones, the headsets, a whole range of things. Transcoding across a PSTN, multiple hops, multiple transcoding, all of these things can affect voice quality. So the network might be performing spectacularly well, but it is only providing, but application network tools are only providing a view on that link, that individual component in the comms delivery infrastructure. So there are a whole range of other things that need to be looked at, and I think this problem is only going to become more complex as the multiple array of end user devices increases, and as fixed IP telephony environments go mobile, as soft clients are introduced, as the comms streams are integrated in business process. We can just see that the complexity is compounded, and consequently this view of the application performance rather than the network performance is going to be the only way, we think, in future infrastructures that you can manage the problem and understand how to identify root cause issues.
And I know you mentioned tracking video quality there, and I know I've talked to Psytechnics CTO Mike Collier about that, and his feeling that enterprises are starting to need some measurement of video quality.
I think so.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, fundamentally, we focus on video communications, of course. I mean, with the downturn, with travel budgets impacted, video conferencing is, I think, on every CIO's list of capabilities to evaluate. Video conferencing is not just video, it's communications with a video element to it. There's a voice component and a video component. And if video conferencing is going to have any major impact, it's never going to supplant the face-to-face meeting, but it's got to come close to that in order for broader adoption. So managing video quality and video performance as well as the voice component of a video conference is going to be key in enabling that. So really, we're just extending the application performance, the performance management approach we've proven in the voice space to that video conferencing space. I think what we're seeing also is there are going to be a range of large-scale enterprise deployment where multiple components in the video conferencing delivery chain are introduced. We were listening to Eric Krapf this morning talking about Cisco telepresence, Tandberg video conferencing rooms, and Microsoft desktop video conferencing. There is going to be a requirement for some application to manage the performance of that complex multi-vendor video conferencing capability. There's nothing available other than the Psytechnics Experience Manager to do that today. So we're very excited about the prospect to extend our proposition into that space.
Now we're here in Amsterdam with a European audience, and Psytechnics, of course, started out as a part of BT.
Indeed. A long time ago now. We spun out of BT in 2000. BT is still a shareholder, but a minority shareholder in our business. We're excited because we've sold our Experience Manager over the course of the last year to a range of global managed service providers. So organizations that are originally parented or originally domiciled in the US that are expanding into Europe, and a range of the major incumbents over here in Europe. And we are seeing that there's tremendous demand as the economy starts to impact enterprise spend. We're seeing corollary growth in the managed service provider opportunity. So we're very excited that the references we have in that space at the moment are, I think, extensible across a range of other managed service providers.
Is this the kind of tool in some of the WAN services in the past? An enterprise might have a managed service, but buy a tool to sort of verify their SLA was being met. Is this something that you see as a market?
I think, well, it's interesting. I mean, we're selling primarily to managed service providers. Managed service providers are increasingly required by enterprise customers to offer SLAs which have got voice quality components and video quality components to them. So we're able to provide that capability to manage the SLA from the managed service provider's perspective. But we've also sold our application to enterprises who might want to determine whether the performance they're receiving from their managed service provider meets the SLA requirements. So I think we're selling to both communities. Both communities appreciating the value of our offer.
Well, Anthony Finbow, thank you very much for being here at VoiceCon Amsterdam. Thanks for talking to us.
Thanks very much, Aaron.